Ford High School Weekly is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.
Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deion Imade. On this week's episode, we're taking the show on the road. It's time to hand out some gold balls as state championship weekend is here. We're at UCO Chad Richardson Stadium as the high school athletes playing the game of football that we love are trying to get that gold ball.
6A1 championship game, first 6A1 championship not featuring Union or Jinx since 1994. This one started off with a long, methodical drive by Bixby, capped off by the 1-yard run by Connor Kirby. Owasso responded immediately with a 54-yard scamper by Mason Willingham, but the missed extra point would keep the Bixby Spartans ahead 7-6. On the next possession, Bixby converted 2 fourth downs on their way to another score off this catch on the swing route to Jacob Snyder. Another stop by the Spartans D sets up this Connor Kirby pass to Arkansas commit Luke Haas, and the floodgates were open for Bixby. It was the other Haas brother, Dylan, who scored on Bixby's next possession as he takes this pass 65 yards to the house. The score, 42-6, Bixby at the half. The second half saw Bixby add a few more scores, including this fake punt from Cooper Parker to Cord Nolan. In the first year of 6A1 football, the Bixby Spartans are champions. Final score, 69-6. Lauren Montgomery and the Bixby Spartans have won 8 championships in the last 9 years. Class 6A2 championship, Stillwater versus Choctaw. Both schools have been knocking on the door for a championship the past few seasons. After a scoreless first quarter, we picked this one back up the first play of the second. Choctaw's Latrell Ray was able to avoid the scrum, bounce back to the outside for 24 yards, putting the Yellow Jackets in the red zone. A few plays later, Ray punches it in, and the Yellow Jackets were on the board 7-0. The Choctaw faithful were feeling good, but the Pioneers would answer back. Running right up the gut, Stillwater's Noah Roberts was able to gash the Choctaw D, which would set up this trick play, a reverse pass from Talon Kendrick to Julius Talley, and this incredible catch would tie the game 7 apiece heading into the half. In the third, a leaping interception by Julius Talley puts the Pioneers deep into Choctaw territory. Stillwater quarterback Gage Gundy connects with Heston Thompson, and Stillwater had their first lead of the day. A missed extra point would make the score 13-7 Stillwater. After a stalled Choctaw drive, Gage Gundy ran 54 yards right up the middle, and Stillwater was rolling 20-7. Another Pioneer interception, this time by Riker Martin, had the Stillwater faithful feeling good, and this time Martin had his chance to put the Shark head on. We will learn more about the Sharks in Stillwater a little later. Back to the ground game. Noah Roberts was able to flip the field until Choctaw was able to hold them on a 4th down stop. However, Choctaw gave the ball right back, and it was Trey Gregory's turn to put the Shark head on. It wasn't over yet. After getting the ball back, the Yellow Jackets drove the field and scored on a screen pass to Jack Smith to cut the score 20-14, just 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the game. Choctaw couldn't stop the Noah Roberts show, though, as he kept pounding, and Stillwater was able to ice the game with a 6-yard run from Zach Tyson. Choctaw wasn't done though. They drove the length of the field and put up their 3rd touchdown, but it was too little too late as the Stillwater Pioneers win their first championship since 1967, 26-21.
Coming up next here on Ford High School Weekly, we'll talk to some of the state champions here at Chad Richardson Stadium. We'll have more on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking to some of the state champions here at Chad Richardson Stadium in Edmond, Oklahoma. Standing here with Stillwater Pioneer running back Noah Roberts. Noah, big time game. I think you went over 200 yards, my man. How does it feel to be a state champion?
It feels great. It was our final goal, and I'm so happy for our team, my teammates. We worked really hard for it all year, and personally, I just wanted to do anything I could to help the team out for a win, and we got it.
So what was the difference from the second half than the first half? I mean, you really put it on in the second half and took this game over.
We realized we just had to keep going the whole game. They're a good team, and they're going to play till the fourth quarter, so we knew we had to hit them hard every play till the fourth to the end. So,
what was the most trying part about reaching this stage and getting that gold ball?
Just like starting from off season with all my brothers, all my seniors, all the leaders. Like, we all worked really hard, and we had one goal all season. That was to win state.
Well, congratulations, man. You're a state champion.
Appreciate it.
Standing here with the head coach of the Stillwater Pioneers, newly crowned state champion of 6A2.
Yeah.
Coach, how does it feel?
Feels good. I got my wits about me now. I got my emotions under control. Gosh, it's so good, man. I'm so happy for the town of Stillwater. I'm so happy for these kids. They have fought so hard. And it was just a group of guys that were here my first year, and they were texting me this week. I mean, it means it's for everybody. Can't say enough. I love these people, man. I love these kids.
Coach, what does it mean for this city? The Stillwater Pioneers are state champions. What do you think?
We're state champions after 55 years. I'm so happy for my town. I love this place. Love these people, and they showed up big for us today. They supported us when things were hard. They cheered for us when things were good, but it hadn't always been. Winning's not easy. We say it all the time. Winning's hard, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. But I'm just proud of the people. So proud for my family. My wife is the greatest football wife on the earth, and she sees us through it. Every week, every season.
Standing here with Julius Talley, a newly crowned state champion for the Stillwater Pioneers. Julius, man, you made some impressive grabs, some impressive plays on defense. What do you think about your performance?
I thought it was amazing, getting out here to make big plays, being a big factor in a state championship game with all my friends and my teammates, being a big part in the win. It just feels great to me to know that we all were rewarded for our hard work.
Walk us through that catch and that touchdown, man. Like, you had to adjust, you had to head whip, turn around, adjust to the ball, catch it behind your head. Tell us about it and crossing the goal line.
Yes, so it was like a little jet sweep pass. We were practicing a little trick play, kind of act like I block and I release. And when I turned around, he threw it, and it was kind of that way. So I had to whip around, and I just knew I had to go get it, or at least get a PI or something, We got to move the ball. I went up and I got it, and he kind of fell off me. I was like, I'm going to go score. Like, no one's going to stop me here. Dove across the end zone, and it felt amazing, man. A big momentum shift, first points on the board. It was awesome.
When did you know this team could accomplish something like this?
I think, in the summer when we were doing spring ball and then 7-on-7, we're all just a really tight-knit group, and we have great chemistry, and we all work very hard for each other.
Well, congratulations, man, on being a state championship. Go enjoy this with your teammates.
Thank you.
Standing here with Talon Kendrick, receiver, maybe even a quarterback, the way he threw the ball tonight. Great touchdown pass, man. How does it feel to be a state champion?
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world. It still feels not real yet. It's still setting in. This is a great team. I love my teammates. Everybody did their part tonight, and it was a great team win.
So talk us through that play. What went through your head? How did you feel when you got the handoff, and how did you feel when the ball left your hand?
Well, Coach called it with like maybe 10 seconds left, so it was hurry up. And he called it, and I was like, all right, this is me. I gotta do it. Here it is. So took the handoff. I saw Julius. Julius is a great player. I know he's to be wide open. Threw it to him. Makes a great catch and touchdown.
We're standing here with Coach Clarence Hawley, defensive coordinator for the Stillwater Pioneers. Coach, big-time performance by your guys, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
Had to seal it in the second, made big-time turnovers when they needed to.
Yeah.
What did you think about their performance?
Yeah, this is a great group of kids, obviously, and Choctaw's got a great football team, and our kids did a good job in preparing. Kind of did what they've done all year, which is what you would hope in a game like this, is they came out, got after the quarterback, attacked the ball in the back end, played with poise, and ended up making one extra play that they didn't make and come home winners.
What's up with the bite in the hat, Coach?
It's a long story, but it's just something that we kind of keep in-house about, the way, some sharks do some things, but how Jaws was different than the rest of them. And our kids, do a great job embracing that. I'm kind of the court jester, and they kind of tend to follow me a little bit, so we have a lot of fun with it.
All right, standing here with a state championship quarterback, Gage Gundy. How does it feel, man?
It feels amazing. It feels just like I asked a lot of people what the feeling it is when they win, and they say you just can't really explain it, and it's true. It's just all this hard work all summer long and 13 weeks of playing games and practicing just all paid off.
Your uncle has a state championship. Yep. Your dad has a state championship.
Both my mom's uncles too.
So it's a family full of state championships. Now you get to add your name to the Gundy legacy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about all year long. Is he is one. My dad's brother has one. Both my mom's brother have one, and now I got one.
Well, good luck, man. Get iced up, and congratulations on winning the state championship.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Up next, we head back to Edmond for more championship highlights on Ford High School Weekly. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. Let's get back to Edmond for more state championship action. In the 3A state championship game, the Metro Christian Patriots hope to complete an undefeated season with their second gold ball in 3 years, but they would get off to a rough start. Patriots' first possession, the snap is over the head of the quarterback, Kurt Francis, in the end zone. Heritage Hall's Charlie Ganiabadi covered it for a touchdown just 2 minutes into the game. Heritage Hall Chargers were looking for their first state title since 2018, got a break when the ensuing kickoff rolled into the end zone and was recovered by Jared Williams for a touchdown. Heritage Hall had a 14-point lead that Metro just could not overcome. Late in the first quarter, Francis connects with Tag Campbell for a 66-yard touchdown. Campbell had 8 catches for 147 yards and 4 touchdowns, but Heritage Hall led 42-27 at the half. The Chargers' River Faulkner had a big day too. 27 carries, 222 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This was a 61-yarder in the fourth quarter that makes the score 65-41. Kurt Francis set state championship passing records with 628 yards on the day and 5 touchdowns, including this 73-yarder to Mario Darrington that had the Patriots within 2 scores with 9.5 minutes left in the game. Next Heritage possession, fourth down at the Metro 37, Chargers quarterback Andy Bass kept the ball and ran in for the score. He had 33 carries, 256 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Heritage Hall Chargers win by a final score of 72-56. Yeah, 128 points, that's a state championship record for total scores. Congratulations to the Chargers. In the 4A state championship, the undefeated Cushing Tigers faced the Wagner Bulldogs. Cushing beat Wagner 42-0 back in October. This would be a little closer. Cushing got the scoring going in the first on a 26-yard connection from Tiger quarterback Blaze Berlowitz to Brady Matheson. Cushing leads 7-0 after the first quarter. Early in the second quarter, Wagner struck back with a 48-yard pass from Cale Charbonneau to wide-open Braden Skeen to tie the score at 7 on the first play of the second quarter. Cushing's Noah Jones scored on a 3-yard run at the 8:09 mark as the Tigers regained the lead 14-7. The Tigers extended their lead when Blaze Berlowitz hooked up with his brother Brody on a 25-yard touchdown pass. Cushing led 21-7 with 5 minutes left in the first half. Wagner put together a multiple play drive and scored with a 1-yard pass play from Charbonneau to Whit Edwards with 1 second left in the half, making the halftime score Cushing 21, Wagner 14. In the third quarter, Wagner put together another long drive that resulted in a 3-yard run by Cale Charbonneau to tie the game at 21 with 1 minute and 29 seconds left in the third quarter. With about 30 seconds left to go in the game, Wagner's Gabe Rodriguez takes the jet sweep motion 18 yards and runs it to the Cushing 14. Then, with 3 seconds left on the clock, Alex Muhlenweg converts the 36-yard field goal to give Wagner their second gold ball in 3 years with a 24-21 victory. 5A state championship between the Carl Albert Titans and the McAllister Buffaloes. This one was all Carl Albert. On their first possession, the Titans score on a Reed DeQuazy screen pass to Trey Washington for 21 yards and 7 points. Second quarter starts with McAllister driving, but Caden Lesnow is stopped short by Tashawn James and Easton Harless on fourth down Next possession, Xavier Robinson ran the ball 7 times for 68 yards, including this score right here. He would finish the day with 180 yards and 2 scores. A 3-and-out gives the ball back to Carl Albert, and Reed DeQuazy flips it to Tashawn James, who takes it 35 yards to the house, and it's a 21-0 lead at half. Pick it back up in the third quarter. Titans defender Tashawn James jumps the screen route and picks it off. Then Xavier Robinson does more than just run the football. He can pass it as well, as he throws this TD pass to Caleb Cornell, and the Titans were rolling. Under a minute left in the fourth quarter, McAllister's Caden Lesnow hits Carter Lance in the corner of the end zone, but Carl Albert would win their 6th state championship in 7 years. Final score, 49-7.
Coming up next here on Ford High School Weekly, we're going to be talking to Michael Knight from Prep Red Zone as we break down the state championship games that happened this past weekend. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. You know we can't leave you without talking with our guy, Michael Knight from Prep Red Zone. We definitely had a lot of state champions crowned. Metro Christian versus Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall ends up getting the victory. One offense that likes to pass the ball, one offense that likes to run the ball, and the running game won out on that day.
Yeah, and they set a couple records in the process. Heritage Hall winning 72-56, the most points scored by a single team was 72 by Heritage Hall. The most combined points, they absolutely shattered the previous record. Heritage Hall, though, that rushing attack with Andy Bass, Ripper Faulkner, I had been talking about it for the last couple of months. That duo has been so dynamic, and I'm glad that they were able to show that on a big stage like in the state championship game, that they truly are one of the best quarterback running back duos in the state of Oklahoma today. And then on the other side, Metro Christian, their quarterback Kirk Francis, another guy who I've been talking about for several years. He's one of the best quarterbacks in this part of the country, and I stand by that. I don't care what the measurables say. I don't care what the offers or non-offers say. I've watched that kid for 3 years now. He's one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen in the state of Oklahoma.
6A2 Stillwater versus Choctaw. In that matchup, Stillwater wins the day and sends the Yellow Jackets packing, and they go ahead and get the gold ball. What did you think of that matchup, and what was the difference?
I think the turnovers, Stillwater, that's kind of what they've been able to do all year. Coming into that game against Choctaw, they had a turnover ratio of 39-4 coming into the game against Choctaw, and their defense forced 3 turnovers. Choctaw's quarterback had only thrown 4 interceptions on the season. He threw 3 in the championship game. The defense was outstanding for Stillwater. The running game with Noah Roberts, Gage Gundy really providing the difference for the Pioneers on offense. And, Stillwater came in and they were ready. They were ready and, expected to win, and they, finish off a perfect season.
Let's move on quickly to 6A1, the Bixby Spartans facing off against the Owasso Rams in the nighttime matchup last Friday. What were your thoughts about the contest?
Blowout. I mean, it was a coronation more than anything that Bixby is not only here in 6A1, they're here to stay as one of the top teams in the state. That was the question all year, was week in and week out, they're playing 6A1 competition after dominating 6A2 for so many years. What are they going to do in the state's largest class? Well, we found out it goes back a couple weeks ago. How did they lose to Jinx to end the regular season? You feel like that winning streak should still be intact right now with the way they played down in Edmond. But it's a dominating team. It's a dominating dynasty. They're not slowing down anytime soon, which is crazy because the senior class that they're losing is incredibly special with a lot of talent, a lot of experience on both sides of the ball. Connor Kirby, their quarterback, is one of the most improved players from last year to this year that I've seen in any class. His improvement as a QB is insane.
Real quick before we get out of here, probably the best game of the weekend. I'm talking about that 4A matchup. Cushing facing off against the Wagner Bulldogs. The Wagner Bulldogs pulling off the big-time upset against the undefeated Cushing Tigers. What were your thoughts? What was the difference? Tell the people.
Wagner prayed, baby. I told you before the game, how does Wagner win? Pray. Look, that's what we thought coming in. Cushing had beaten Wagner 42-0 in week 6. They were the big favorites. Wagner knew they were the favorites, but they didn't care. They knew that if they played their game, they were going to have a chance to win it, and that's exactly what happened. They wanted to control the ball. They wanted to keep Cushing's high-powered offense on the sideline, and when Cushing goes for it halfway through the fourth quarter with a little over 5 minutes left, they go for it. They come up short, and I immediately thought they're not going to get the ball back. Wagner is going to play that Wagner offense where they run the ball, they're converting third downs, they're converting fourth downs, and they kick that game-winning field goal as time expires. I've talked with their head coach, Dale Kahn, several times since then. He's won a lot of games. He's won a lot of championships, and he still thinks that win over Cushing was the best win of his career. And when you consider everything, you consider they lost 42-0. They win it on a game-winning field goal. The way they executed their game plan to perfection, it's hard to argue, but the Wagner pulling off the upset of Cushing probably was the game of the weekend. But I also do want to give a shout out to Carl Albert and that dynasty they have going there. 6th title in 7 years. Xavier Robinson, one of the best players in the state, had 2 touchdowns running, a touchdown passing, a touchdown receiving as well. He's one of the best players in Oklahoma this season. They just absolutely ran over McAllister in the 5A title game.
Now we got to wait for next year.
Yeah, well, I don't. There's still football somewhere. I'm going to find it. We have all of our postseason content coming up on the website. We'll have season in review series, all-state teams, player of the year, coach of the year. We'll take a look back at the 2022 season. And then, at the start of the new year, 7-on-7 will fire up across the country and across Oklahoma as well, with guys going out and playing 7-on-7 on the weekends. So there's football all year round. We'll have our camp in January as well. So there's always football. You just have to go out and find it, and you can find it on prepredzone.com.
I want to congratulate everybody who won a state championship this weekend and all the players and the coaches who participated in the 2022 football season. Remember, guys, only the best in Oklahoma make it to Ford High School Weekly, like the guys who won a state championship this weekend. Well, until next time, thank you for watching, and I'm Deion Imade.
Ford High School Weekly has been brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.